Hey guys, welcome back to Tamiya Legends, and once again, thank you for stopping by. If you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe and notification bell for our weekly videos. So in this short video, I've got the final piece of the alloy jigsaw for my custom top force, which is the front bulkhead cover. Looks a really nice piece of kit, but I've heard it doesn't fit great, so let's have a look. In this video as well, once we've got this fitted, I just want to do a quick review of the RC damper alloy parts that I've bought, because it's cost a lot of money, and I'll go through the pricing of it and what I think to it. I'll put my 2 pence in. So let's get cracking. So the last piece we've got is this cover, which replaces this plastic part. Now, we'll go into this in much more detail later on, but if you're going to run metal arms, then you're going to have this piece, because obviously this is where the strength comes from. The pins go through this and gives you that overall strength. Whereas if you run this and you crack one of these arms, it's just going to snap this plastic instantly. So as I said, let's take this off and see if it fits. So although it looks very, very similar, it's got more of a hump on this side on the casting. And it runs a lot higher than the plastic one. And when you fit the plastic one on, it's pretty flush with the chassis and kind of keeps the same line. Whereas the alloy one, you've got this hump here. Now obviously the gearbox, this front end's angled slightly, so it's not really going to affect, it's not as if it's going to be hanging down more than your overall ride height. I just want to show you something quickly. So as people have already told me, the alloy one doesn't fit the best. So obviously the plastic one just sits straight on, and it's a flush fit right down, hard down to the gearboxes, even without the screws. You put the alloy one on, and at first you think, yeah, it's great. But I don't know if this is going to come across on camera, but you've actually got a slight gap from the alloy to the plastic, pretty much all around. So it's the actual screws that are going to nip this down, which is not ideal at all. I can feel it there when I'm pressing it. It's just going down that extra bit. So that's not ideal at all. But let's get the screws on and see what it looks like. So that's it on. Obviously this is a display car. This is the whole purpose of why I've done this. I probably would never have gone for alloy if I was going to run this thing. But first impressions, it looks absolutely class, I guess, as you would expect. This is quite an expensive part, but we'll touch on that later. So it doesn't fit on the casing as it should. Nowhere good as the plastic one does. Now that's a worry, because if you're going to get any dirt or anything, or dirt or grime inside that, if you are going to run it, you're going to have to mod that somehow by, I don't know which bit it is, I'm guessing it's one of these arms here that might need filing slightly. Which is not very good, but the screws do nip it down a lot. I also, the bumper, when you screw it down, these little pips of the end of the bumpers are just risen slightly. Now it's flush with the casting, but it is a little bit higher. It's a little bit, it looks untidy to me, but it is what it is, I guess. But it, you know, looks wise, it looks fantastic. It really does, and it finishes this car off. Right, now that's the car finished with all the alloy hop-ups. There was one left that I could have bought, which was this rear bulkhead cover. They do this in the alloy as well. To me, it doesn't, whereas I needed the front one, just so it was matching. This is just a cover, and it's like, I don't know how much it is, it'll be like $30, you know, it's too much money. Anyway, I didn't go for it, so I've left that one standard. As far as I'm aware, that's the only alloy part I've not got from RC Damper. So we'll start on the back end. The back end for me is the worst. Now, let me just say this straight off the bat. This is a display car. It was always meant to be a display car. So I knew deep down that alloy parts are not, especially aftermarket alloy parts, are not the best. But this is just kind of a review should you be wanting to buy this stuff and possibly run it, because there are a few mods you're going to have to make, in my opinion. So the rear end is the worst for slop, in my opinion. The rear arm, I'll show up so you can hear it. So the rear arm has quite a little bit of play here. What you would need to do is take a circlip off, pull it back, and try to fit some kind of washer in here. I haven't got any washers thin enough. Like a standard Tamiya washer is a little bit thick, and it'd be putting too much pressure on the circlip, which is not ideal. Again, you know, you could remove the pins and go for screws, but it's not, you know, it's not great. So you definitely need to tighten that up, that slop up to run it, because that's far too much. I already tightened where the rear hub goes onto the arm. There's a washer in there. Now, I know you're not going to be able to see it, which is a good thing, because it means the mod, you know, you can't tell it's been modded. But that hub onto the arm had equally as much play as that. And now I can't really do that, but if I hold the arm down, that's hardly got anything now. That's pretty solid. The bearings into the hub castings is not a tight fit, so you get a little bit of movement. Very late, I mean, it's minimal, but obviously when you've got a wheel on, it exaggerates it a lot. And then when you add all the slop together, you know, you've got all that. So you would have to do something. As I say, I think that mod I've done there is good enough, but you would have to do the same mod there. What else is that? What else I want to just try quickly is I use these 12mm blue anodized hex adapters. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick a wheel on and show you the play that this drive cup has. And then what I'm going to do is on the other one, I'm going to take the alloy one off and fit the standard black plastic top force one on, because I just want to see if some of the slop's coming from this adapter. So that actually didn't make a difference. The left hand side has got the alloy wheel adapter fitted, and the right hand side has got the standard plastic standard top force one. These don't seem to fit as good as they should, in my opinion. Obviously, once you push it as tight as it'll go, then you nip this grub screw up. And I actually just assumed that was giving it a little bit of slop. So this is the metal one, and this is a plastic one. So it's about the same. It hasn't made an improvement at all. But as you can see, you know, that's far too much movement. You would have to do some kind of mod on that, which obviously would involve, as I said, the arms, and you would need to somehow do these drive cups. Don't know how you would do that. So just a quick final look at that rear end with it upside down. So just holding that, so you can see we've got all that. Right, let's have a look at the front end. So interestingly, before we fitted the front bulkhead cover, the alloy one, the front end was on. I'm just talking about the arms now, the joints with the U pin. It was a pretty tight fit against the alloy, against the plastic. I thought it felt pretty good when I did it. Now I've put the alloy bulkhead on, it's given a little bit of play. You can just see that. Now again, it's not much, and it can be modded, but it'd be a bit of a mission to do that. But it's not nearly as bad as the back end. It's half what the back end is. So that's a little bit of an issue. Next we have the again the front hubs. It's difficult to. There is a little play. The bearing. I mean, the bearings are not loose. Don't get me wrong, but we're talking, you know, really fine margins here. From the front hub to the C hub, yes, we have got play. We've got that. Now again, that can be modded quite easily by a little washer or something. I'm not going to do any of these mods because, as I say, this is a display car only. But if you're going to run it, you would have to fix that, get that issue sorted. But you know, apart from that, it's great. Steering. Now this is a crucial one because the alloy aftermarket parts for the steering arms are really made for the DF01 bathtub chassis. These arms are absolutely shorter, and as standard it comes with an aluminium bar here that joins both metal arms. Now you're not going to be able to use this without doing this mod that I've done. So on the standard top force, it uses a turnbuckle and ball joints. So what I had, luckily, I had a spacer, because obviously on this alloy arm, the hole's already there. So I put a spacer inside with a ball joint, and it was a really tight fit. I've done that on both sides, and then I made a turnbuckle up. Now this allows, it's going to be difficult to show, but those wheels are kind of straight now. This arm's at this direction, but if you do it in a standard format, both arms are facing into about that. So you get hardly any steering. You'd get about that maximum. So by putting a turnbuckle on, it allows you to open both these arms up, and then you get roughly the full movement. Now, I'm pretty sure I've got enough for this car, more than enough. But if you were going to run it, I think I would have to take this turnbuckle off and extend it slightly, so it pushes the arms even further out, and I think that would give me the maximum amount of steering. But again, that's not a big issue, and this mod is a much better idea than using the crappy alloy bar that it comes with. The bar looks good because obviously it's the same colour, but you know. What else is play wise? The steering's pretty good. It's pretty solid. I'll show you the other side. It's a little bit harder to see, but where are we? So I know you can't really see much, but again, you know, it feels great. It feels nice and tight, and there's no more play on that steering than there would be on a standard Top Force, in my opinion. So that's about that. Let's turn it over. When you turn it over on the front end and hold the cups, there is a bit of slot there actually. Now, obviously, when I'm doing that, you can see the arms moving. So if you can eradicate possibly spacers in here, it's going to stop that bit, which is going to half that. But yeah, it's not great. So in summary, and again, these are just my opinions, I'm not trying to hate on RC Damper. I think the quality of the casting and that is excellent. But for the price, every piece of alloy on here has come off eBay from RC Damper. And it's cost £135, which is probably about 160 odd dollars. So it's not cheap. Now, if you're going out with the intention like I did to do something, a complete one-off and something pretty custom, then it's absolutely awesome. I can't recommend it highly enough. It really does transform the car. And obviously the idea for me was to have this on a shelf, you know, an angle, sorry I can't get this in the camera, but an angle with lights on it against the carbon. It's going to look so trick. But if you are going to run it, then you've got some work to do. As this is right now, if I changed my mind and I was going to run this, I can honestly say I wouldn't spend the time doing the mods. I would put the plastics back on. So anyway, I hope that helps. As I say, it's a lot of money to do, and I just sort of want you to know what you're getting if you're going to go down this path. So I'll end this video here. So once again, thanks for watching, it's much appreciated. And if you are new to this channel, if you could please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell for our weekly videos, that'd be absolutely awesome. And as always guys, happy RCing.